Hello everyone, my name is Eliza Marhalino and today we'll talk about a serious topic which is abortion ethics. This issue is complicated and affects many lives kaya naman we need to approach it with respect and an open mind. For our discussion, we'll look at it from three different perspectives. The first one is Kantian ethics, next is the virtue ethics, and the last is utilitarianism. And each of it offering its own view on what's right or wrong in situations like this. Each of us will represent arguments from different perspectives. Kantian ethics that focuses on duty and respecting life, virtue ethics that looks at what makes a good person, and last is utilitarianism that considers what action will lead to the most happiness. After we share each argument, we'll also mention if we personally agree or disagree. Okay, I'll begin with Kantian ethics, which focuses on moral duty and respect for life. So, Kantian ethics is all about treating people with dignity and respect as ends in themselves. Hindi lang parang means to an end. So, Kant believed that if we consider the fetus as a potential person from conception, we have a moral duty to protect that potential life. In other words, it isn't just about whether the fetus can think or feel yet. It's about its intrinsic value as a future rational being.
Kantian ethics is about treating people with dignity and respect as ends in themselves, hindi lang parang means to an end. Kant believed that if we consider the fetus as potential person from conception, we have a moral duty to protect that potential life. In other words, it isn't just about whether the fetus can think or feel yet. It's about intrinsic value as a future rational being. One important principle in Kantian ethics is the universal law. Kant would ask, what if everyone were to act this way? Imagine if it became a universal rule to allow abortion under any challenging circumstance. Kant would say this would contradict our duty to respect life. Kapag ginawa natin ito, we might start treating human life as something disposable, something na pwedeng itapon or iset aside depending on the situation. For Kant, that's dangerous because it can lessen the value we place on all human life. Parang, buhay nga ba talagang pinapahalagahan natin? Kantian ethics also says that our duty to moral law should be above our personal desires or goals. So even if a mother feels like her life will be hard if she has the child, Kant would argue that the duty to protect life is more important than the desire for convenience or comfort. Minsan, these perspectives sound cold or even harsh. Parang ang hirap naman ito. But for Kant, this isn't about being emotionless. It's about holding ourselves to the highest moral standard, respecting life. For him, it is a duty that shouldn't be broken simply because of hardship. Pero minsan, may mga situation talaga where it gets complicated. What about cases where the mother's life is in danger? Dito, I feel Kantian ethics can feel too strict. Kulang siya sa flexibility minsan kailangan sa ganitong sensitive situation. However, Kant would still say that we should aim to act with duty and respect for life at the core of our decisions. Naintindihan ko na for some people, mahirap ito matanggap, especially in cases where the situation feels almost impossible to bear. In my own view, Kant's emphasis on respecting life really speak to me, but I also feel the weight of his strict approach. Kasi minsan, tao rin tayo hindi robot na puro rules lang. And while it's important to follow moral laws, I believe that compassion should also play a role. In my opinion, ang hirap i-apply ng Kantian ethics sa real-life situation dahil kulang ito sa understanding of what people go through emotionally and mentally. I respect Kant's perspective, but sometimes we need the balance between duty and empathy.
Hello everyone, I am Michelle San Fernando and I will discuss the second perspective, which is virtue ethics. Virtue ethics developed by Aristotle is all about character. Kung anong klase ng tao na gusto nating maging. It's not just about following rules or laws, It's about developing virtues or good character traits like compassion, courage, and wisdom. So when it comes to abortion, a virtue ethicist would ask, ano ba ang gagawin ng isang mabuting tao sa ganitong sitwasyon? What kind of character are we shaping if we choose to proceed with or avoid abortion? From this perspective, we might think about the virtue of compassion. Kung iniisip natin ang kapakanan ng fetus, then compassion might mean respecting its potential for life. But on the other hand, we also need compassion for the mother, lalo na kung siya ay nasa mahirap na sitwasyon or kung magiging mahirap talaga ang buhay niya because of the pregnancy. Virtue ethics doesn't give a simple answer. It pushes us to balance compassion for both the mother and the unborn child, as well as to ask ourselves what a good, virtuous person would do. Another virtue to consider is practical wisdom or phronesis, which Aristotle believed was key to making balanced and thoughtful choices. Practical wisdom means considering all aspects of the situation carefully and making the choice that aligns with a well-rounded, virtuous character. Hindi siya madaling desisyon. Practical wisdom pushes us to go beyond what we feel at the moment and to think about what's genuinely best in the long run for both the mother and the unborn child. Now, do I agree with virtue ethics in this context? I do. I think it emphasizes the importance of character and the complexity of human experiences. It's important to cultivate virtues like compassion and courage in making decisions around abortion, which are deeply personal and often difficult. I believe that a virtuous person would strive to understand the circumstances of the mother while also considering the potential life of the fetus. However, I also recognize that there may be cases where the pressure on the mother is too great, and in such cases, making a choice to have an abortion can still align with a virtuous character if it's made with careful consideration and the well-being of all involved in mind.
Hello guys, I'm Dimple Burha, and now let's process the utilitarian viewpoint, which focuses on the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. Utilitarianism, as proposed by philosophers like Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, evaluates the morality of an action based on its consequences. So, ang pangunahing tanong dito is, anong nakabubuti para sa nakararami? In the case of abortion, we need to consider the potential outcomes for both the mother and the fetus. If a woman feels unprepared to carry a pregnancy to term dahil sa socio-economic factors, emotional readiness, o health concerns, allowing her to have an abortion can lead to a greater overall happiness. For when many women, especially those who are single parents or from challenging financial backgrounds, raising a child can bring stress and hardship. The emotional and financial burden can affect not just their well-being, but also that of their existing children. Kaya sa mga ganitong sitwasyon, mas makabubuti kung bibigyan sila ng choice na i-abort ang kanilang pregnancy.
So, my name is Cyril J. Ignacio, and let's proceed to utilitarian viewpoint. Moreover, utilitarianism also considers the amplification of illegal or unsafe abortions. Research shows that unsafe abortion lead to significant health risk and maternal deaths. In fact, the WHO estimates that around 30% of maternal deaths are caused by unsafe abortions. So, sabi dito, ang sakit na dulot ng mga ganitong sitwasyon ay hindi lamang nakakapunta sa mga ina, kundi pati na rin sa mga pamilya, komunidad. And by allowing safe and legal access to abortion, we can reduce this health risk, ultimately leading to a greater overall well-being for society. Society as a whole. Ibig sabihin, may kinabang ang mas marami tao sa desisyon na ito. And now, some might argue that allowing abortions can lead to moral degradation. But from a utilitarian standpoint, it's not just about strict moral rules. We must also consider the context and the potential benefits. If carrying a pregnancy term leads to more harm than good, like increased poverty or mental health issues for the mother, then from a utilitarian perspective, it is just justifiable to allow abortion. And personally, I resonate with the utilitarian approach because it emphasizes the importance of well-being and also practical outcomes. However, I also understand that some may feel uncomfortable with this perspective, as it can sometimes seem to prioritize collective happiness over individual rights. And parang napakahirap balansin ang greater good sa mga sitwasyong napaka-personal. Nevertheless, in a complex issues like abortion, I believe that considering the consequences for all involved parties is crucial for making ethical decisions. Yan.